shut the fuck up and Chuck D started rapping.
Exactly. Some point you gotta come and tie everything together. And you gotta be that face and that focal point. I mean, that is one of the reasons why Muhammad Ali was able to come back so fast, because he was able to somewhat stay in the spotlight, still keep his voice heard. It's like the Kaepernick issue is still weird and somewhat divisive, and so
'cause I don't know what he wants.
It's important for him to come. Exactly. That's why it's important for him to come out and talk and say something, even if it's nothing.
Like, bro, talk to your base. You're not even talking to your base.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you talking to? I feel like, are you just talking to like activists who kind of pay attention to football, or people who are football fans and know you got blackballed and think that's wrong, and still want to support you? Like, that's I feel like he's talking to a whole demographic that ain't really football fans. He's talking to activists.
Again, I just think it's weird because it's like his motivation is changing again. So now it's like he's trying to just go back into this I'm just another football player mode.
You can't be a recluse, like, bro, after being a blackballed.
A symbol. Like and blackballed and a symbol. Like
not to make this about myself, but when I was going through my little shit at the Sundial, I eventually just went away and just did my own thing. I didn't come back, and I made it known like what my demands were at the time. I was like, no, I'm not coming back to work with you after all that shit. That's not happening, ever. So once I made it clear what was going to happen and what wasn't going to happen, guess what? Then everything else ran its course. But I didn't just leave people in the wind and be like, okay, well, I want X, Y, and Z to happen. Like, I don't know who his PR person is or who's running this, but it's like, bro, what is your brand message? You don't have one. Yeah, we know you want to play. Yeah, you've been working out every day, but you let your girlfriend speak for you.
Yeah.
Your homie speaks for you. But we don't hear from you straight up saying and bamming the potato, hey, yo, I'm better than like 90% of the, like a good 80% of these starting quarterbacks in the NFL. You're going to tell me?
I think the other thing is that's important for players to see. I think it's important for whatever locker room.
If you fighting for you, then I can fight with you.
Exactly. And if you can come on, like, that's going to get whatever potential locker room you're going to go to fired up. To see you on air saying, I want to come back, I'm ready to play, I'm this, I'm that. But it's like still hiding behind the PR statement and your affiliates is just like, it's that tough talk. Like, but yeah, so the next issue I wanted to talk about this week, last one, we can breeze over this one. The XFL officially came out with their draft pool. Features, I want to say, over 83 NFL alumni at various levels. That ranges from people who got drafted and played to people who just got tryouts as undrafted free agents. Some of the key names include Connor Cook, Trent Richardson, Roberto Aguayo, Kaelin Burnett, Carl Bradford, Arthur Brown, Jacoby Ford, Damien Mama, Zach Mettenberger, Will Sutton, Trey Jackson, Matt Elam, Rahim Moore, Sammie Coates, Max McCaffrey, Fred Taylor's son, Vinnie Testaverde's son, Christian McCaffrey's brother, which I already mentioned, Max McCaffrey.
I feel bad for Will Sutton.
Yeah, we always talk about that.
Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you think about cats.
Be your own coaches sometimes.
Who are just great in the role that they did, and you fuck that up by, like, trying to change them into something they're not. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. He could have been better. He could have been better than Jay Ratliff.
I think that was kind of the plan. I think that's what they wanted to make him into, but
a better Jay Ratliff. But like, they had him put on too much weight.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever made. He wasn't
meant to be Jay Ratliff.
He wasn't made to be a nose tackle. Like, his dad is a DB. Like, his dad is like 5'8", short. Like,
remember Kyle Hyder?
Short and fit and quick feet. Like,
quick feet, don't
like he has great feet. Even as an old man, when we were working out, he would be the first one on the ladder to show you a drill.
Remember,
but yeah,
Remember Kyle Hyder, who had 8 sacks?
The crazy thing is, you don't know about Will Sutton, bro, is he was a baseball player, boy. Like, he could play baseball. I remember seeing him JV year. He was a freshman. Boom, boom, boom. He hit like 4 home runs versus our JV team, bro. It was bad. Like, he was hitting jacks. Like
just home run derby?
Clearing the fence. Like borderline hitting the football field. Like, on a JV field. Like, it was bad, bro. Like,
damn, you had a JV field? Like, my high school.
And we were all like, why is this guy not on varsity? Like, and he was just in it. But it was a lot of politics. But he actually liked baseball a lot. Like, low-key, baseball was his sport, but he had the NFL pedigree and, you know, played for a great team. So, I mean, he was good at both, but shit. He was a baseball player, too.
He was like supposed to be a first-round pick his junior year. We had 14 sacks or something crazy.
Yeah, he had 14 sacks and was like first team All-American, like Pac-12 Defender of the Year shit.
I don't understand it, bro. That shit makes me sad when I see stuff like that. But I mean,
it happens all the time. It be your own coaches sometimes.
I remember my senior year. They said, "Hey, we're switching to a 3-4. You're playing nose." I just shattered my foot and leg. I don't even have full range of motion in my toe. You want me to take on double teams every play? Oh, and triple teams too? Okay.
But yeah, so how the XFL draft is going to be is it's going to be waves. They're going to have 4 groups. So I think the first group is like receiver skill players, and then like the second group is like special teams players, and the third group is like linemen, and the fourth group is like quarterbacks. Something like that. And then I think the last group is just open. So it'll be a snake draft, and I think that's happening, I want to say the 15th or the 16th of October, so in less than a week. And there's going to be more players released, I believe, tomorrow as well.
I forgot Ronald Ollie of infamous fame.
So far, it's already going to be, I think they're taking a pool of 1,000 players, I want to say. And what is there, like 10 teams? So roughly about half the pool will get assigned to a team. And
it's good because a lot of guys like Pep Hamilton got a head coaching gig. So certain cats are getting head coaching gigs. Cats who would have never got those positions anywhere else. So it's good. It looks like they're actually running it, trying to make it a legitimate football operation.
We'll see, though, because I think everything is still tied to McMahon.
SmackDown on Fox was
Everything is owned by...
Fox is calling the shots, at least for SmackDown, in a lot of cases. That's why he beat Kofi Kingston in 9 seconds.
The XFL, unlike the NFL... So the NFL is comprised of 32 different corporations. The XFL is just going to be one corporation with 32 different teams. So all the teams are going to be owned by the XFL versus in the NFL, the teams are owned and operated separately, but they have essentially what makes it a league is they're essentially all connected, if that makes sense. I was going to use the term association, which it is.
It's closer to the association than it is a league.
But I just don't want to make it
like
confusing like the NBA.
Yeah.
All right, so next up I got take or tangent. Let's try and make it quick. But yeah, so first up, Vontaze Burfict had his suspension upheld. He appealed the 12-game suspension he got for the remainder of the season. You got a take or a tangent on it still being upheld?
Not even surprised. Didn't Derek Brooks try to kill Rich Gannon?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that on Twitter. I just think it's crazy, like, out of all the people to review that,
John Runyon,
it really was
one of the dirtiest right tackles ever.
But I'm just saying, like, Derek Brooks, like a former John Gruden player, a linebacker, like someone who should empathize with this isn't.
So,
and I guess that's the difference between weak side linebackers who can actually cover and middle and strong side linebackers who
have to face shit head on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Weak side linebackers just back out.
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah. Weak side linebackers.
R.I.P. Thomas Howard.
R.I.P. Thomas Howard. Great defensive end out of UTEP. Even better linebacker in the NFL. He played strong and weak.
And he played safety.
For a little bit. But he was a DN in college.
He played safety in college, though, too.
Which is insane. To go from safety to DN.
The next one, I wanted to play the full video, but we don't really have a lot of time. But Ed Reed appeared on the Rich Eisen show, And they asked him about, I think, Jamal Adams' fine and about how he got it reduced and
rescinded, actually.
Yeah, rescinded. And they might have asked him about somebody else's fine too. And they were just talking, and Rich asked him, so what should they do about this whole unnecessary roughness and all these fine situation? And Ed Reed just said, you can't change the game how it's been played for so long. Like, all this player, like, safety stuff, like, it's fake. NFL doesn't really care about it. They put in these new rules every single year. They change all these rules, and all they do is take money out of the player's pocket.
All they do is fine defensive players for adjusting
like
the rules that make no sense, and then you have the pass interference.
But let me finish what Ed Reed was saying. So that's essentially what Reed was saying. Is, you know, they get in this room, they make up all these rules that essentially just keep money in their pocket and take it from the players. He was like, so what they should do is they need to just say fuck all that. Put it into the contracts, the liability. You will get CTE. You will get concussions. You will have brain damage. You will break your knees. You will be in constant pain. You will have all these certain things, and then just let people play the game how it was meant to be played. The same game everybody's grown up playing. We've all watched growing. Because guess what? People are still going to play it. And then we can stop pretending that everyone cares about what happens to these players when they're done. And stop taking money out of their pocket. And stop pretending like we're on this higher moral ground when really what makes this game so great is
the collisions.
The collisions, yeah. And the overall just nastiness of it.
And also, like, you can't teach physicality. You can't, like, throw humanity into physicality. Well, it doesn't work that way. Like, yes, you could show me the proper technique to hit someone, but I'm hitting them. I'm committing an act of violence against another person, and you want to find me based off how I did it, and down to the, like, angle. Like, what about players
in a minimal seconds? Like,
and the fact that athletes are faster now than they've ever been. And actually, no, I take that back.
Faster, stronger, more explosive.
Definitely,
jump higher.
Definitely football players. But as my mom once said, if I had the technology that track players that everybody else had back then, if we had that, we'd be fast just as faster. So it's like, it's interesting. Because I think with some sports, it's just technology and, you know, proper planning and athletic training. That's what makes the difference, especially with track stars. I think they literally did a study saying, like, the reason why people are like a tenth of a second faster now than they were way back then is because some of them cats back then, God-given fast, but they were running on concrete and shit.
I mean, I think that's
with shoes with no support.
I mean, I think that's part of it, but it's also what we've talked about in football about how people just have more time to train and groom.
Yeah,
like this whole concept of a childhood is really only 6 decades old, 7 decades old.
Let's be honest.
So it's really like my grandpa didn't grow up training year round. He played 3 different sports.
Yeah.
But if he didn't play those 3 different sports, he probably would have been working or just being in school. Like he wasn't going to go and weightlift 9 months out of the year, or maybe run on his own a little bit, but he's not going to do a vigorous speed training workout 3 months out of the year unless he did track
every day.
Unless he did track.
Yep.
And that's just kind of how things were then. But now it's like, now you can, like you said, you have so much data, you have so much technology where you can really just hone in on one sport and all the skills and traits that go into that and slowly build them up over the course of a year.
Yeah, I feel it. My mom says she kind of wants to come on to talk about track because, fun fact, when she was getting recruited, she said she committed an NCAA violation.
But yeah, man, I agree.
Snitching, by the way.
I agree with everything that he said, because it is really just fake moral ground. Like, nobody gives a shit about what happens to the players except for the players.
I would rather be
honest with that.
I would rather be hit high than hit low. Because if you break my fucking leg or my kneecap, I have to learn how to walk again. If you hit me in the chest or the head, I might get knocked out. Might get the wind